Newsroom starts now.
Another former Melissa High School teacher was arrested on teen sex charges. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. He's the second teacher from the same school to be arrested just this week. Police say Daryl Glenn Witten fondled and kissed a female student under the age of 17. He's also charged with failing to report child abuse. An arrest warrant affidavit says the victim told Witten about another teacher's inappropriate behavior with her. Earlier this week, the school's band director, Michael Riddell, was arrested and charged with having sex with a student. Another student at the school who did not want to be identified says she's shocked.
Out of all the teachers that we have, there are two very dedicated teachers that we have, Riddell, the band director. He is just very dedicated to his work, loves the band kids. And Witten, he's in Interact Club and just really involved in helping the community.
Melissa Superintendent Keith Murphy released a statement saying, in part, "It's a tough day in Melissa. My heart aches, and we are all saddened and shocked to learn of the arrests."
On top of the two arrests in the Melissa School District, a third grade teacher in Hurst Euless Bedford Schools was arrested on charges of indecency with a child earlier this month. Before that, a now former HEB principal was arrested for online solicitation of a minor. And just yesterday, an Arlington ISD employee was arrested on child pornography charges. Now, all the recent arrests have some asking if this is really happening more often, or maybe it's something we're just hearing more often about. Fox 4's Deanna Zoga is in our newsroom tonight with the answer to that question. Deanna.
Heather, the Texas Education Agency says cases statewide are on the rise and even goes as far as to recommend to teachers and parents to avoid any private texting, messaging of any kind, saying those communications can serve to blur the lines.
According to court documents, Melissa High School's band director admitted a texting relationship with the student escalated to touching. Another teacher, Daryl Witten, also accused of abuse. The student told police she confided in Witten that she was suicidal and depressed. Witten, investigators say, never reported those thoughts to someone who could help her.
It's heartbreak. The child is someone's son or daughter, and it's a public betrayal.
Psychologist John Jeffrey isn't involved in the case, but can speak to the damage done when a teacher-student relationship crosses the line.
It's completely confusing for a young person when the adult who's supposed to be giving them direction is the one that turns out to be untrustworthy, or the one that seems to be using them or just taking advantage of them.
From last September to this July, the TEA opened 174 investigations involving inappropriate relationships with a student or minor. That's close to the 179 cases reported over a longer 12-month period in the previous fiscal year, and more than 141 cases reported in 2009 and 10.
My fear is that for every one that gets important, maybe there are 2 or 3 others that aren't being reported.
San Antonio-based education consultant David Thompson teaches ethics courses across the state. He now sees districts looking for more ways to limit social media and after-hours communication.
They trust their educators to do right by their kids, and 99.999% of them do. It's just when these occur, it brings this issue to light.
But when trust is shaken, Dr. Jeffrey reminds parents, don't underestimate how involved you need to be.
Parents have to be very involved, and you have to monitor your children's activities to make sure they're safe.
Both our experts say they do believe districts are trying to address the issue. David Thompson recently taught a refresher course to teachers in the Grapevine-Colleyville district about these very topics. He says teachers are receptive. They want to make sure they're not grouped in with the suspects in the cases that do make the news, unfortunately. Back to you.
All right, so Deanna, you mentioned the numbers, the TEA numbers. How do they actually track these cases?
So the TEA says it'll find out about a case in a couple of different ways. Either a superintendent notifies the state that there's been a firing or resignation because of suspected misconduct. And we're not just talking about sex here, but just what's deemed inappropriate relationships. Or a teacher is arrested. Texas DPS has certified teachers' fingerprints on file, which you'll remember, Heather, the legislature began requiring back in 2007.
All right. Deanna, live in our newsroom tonight. Thank you.